Do you want to see some market tension? Because Bitcoin's not doing anything at all, per my Monday video analysis where I mentioned that price would probably go sideways the entire week in this yellow triangle. Yes, I'm re-recording this since my first attempt to record with music was a swing and a miss. The music was way too loud, so we're trying this again, but for the recording for YouTube. Anyway, price is just going sideways, so let me show you a little bit of the market pulse right now. In general, the markets need to make a choice, and I'll show it to you on stock market, leaders, Amazon, Dixie, Euro, and Bitcoin. It's all the same decision. The decision is money has to either commit to buy pressure or begin taking its money out, and format your brain to, when I say now or soon, that is in the market's perspective of time, which is much, much slower than humans' perception of time, similar to how ants and flies perceive time in the world specific to time much more quickly than humans do, right? And then markets, again, perceive time much more slowly than humans. So let's format our brains to like the 6 to 12 week time frame. You know, things could kind of go, things could hover until August or so, but then the decision, that's when the finale has to happen. I mean, something's going to happen. I mean, this summer, essentially, is what. And so I'm getting ready to show it to you in the charts since there's nothing interesting in Bitcoin because it's literally right where I told Bitcoin to be last Monday. And I said I would follow up. So this is the, I guess, the follow-up portion of that. So let's, on Bitcoin, what the decision, remember, those are the two things going on all the charts I'm going to show today. Stock market, Amazon, Dixie, all that stuff. If you look at this oscillation here behind me, I'll skip the logo stuff today. If you take a look at this, the timing on this guy, see that? 2 months, 66 days. If we do it here, boom, 68 days. So price moves kind of like a clock, and these oscillations, I mean, it's at the time where it has to oscillate again, right? So a decision from a timing perspective needs to be made. Will Bitcoin go all the way up to the top of the channel close to 36 to 37K? Or is it going to break down and out of it sometime soon? Money being taken out of the market or commitment to create buy pressure, all right? But it's the commitment to create buy pressure is only seen on this because of the oscillations. It's either going to get trapped somewhere over here and work out, or it's going to, the next oscillation will go up. Are you seeing what I'm saying there? But it's not the same thing on every chart, but the only same thing that you're going to see is commitment to take money out or commitment to buy pressure. Watch. Now the US 500, specifically on the weekly chart here, you're seeing 2 years of price history right here. And take a look. This is 1 year. From here to here is a whole year. It's 370 something days. It is a consolidation zone. This candle is poking its head out, and it's getting ready to confirm a candle closure above and a breakout. So, and this is an origin line here. So to break above an origin line means you need volume, like you are committing to volume at least up to the next origin line, which is way up here, which would commit it to taking out that high right there. But that breakout, so regardless of the next high and analyzing what it's going to do, the idea is this is a potential breakout. However, it could be a fake out. So the fake out leaves the option to take money out. But a breakout, if confirmed over the next 6 weeks, because it might hang out here, everybody. Like, I mean, there might be several weeks where it just like goes like this and, you know, almost like a cup and handle, right? So that handle formation could take 6 weeks. It could hang out here without making a choice. But if it comes up and retests it, then starts ticking up a little bit more 8 weeks later, it has to commit to approaching all-time highs, or at least it's going to pass this guy up here. It's going to approach the highs, the first macro lower high of the weekly back from March of 2022. That's where it will be committed to go. And market makers and big money and smart money and quant firms and hedge funds, they will be committed to it. So this time frame, and now market-wise, again, 6 to 12 weeks timing, right? Time is slower for markets now, and now on Jupiter. Jupiter moves slowly. So now on Jupiter, it has to happen now. But you can see it's not in form of oscillation like Bitcoin. This has to make a choice because of the year-long breakout, all right? So the euro right now, and so I have to use this in conjunction with Dixie. So this looks essentially like it's going up, right? But Dixie is on the lower time frames. So the daily trend is down. You got lower highs and lower lows. So high, low, lower low. So you have lower highs and lower lows on the daily, and the weekly's in a downtrend, while the euro's in an uptrend on both of those. But the lower time frames are getting kind of aggressive, and it's getting ready to break into the point of control. And this is a 12-year-long point of control. So that means if it breaks in there, euro's going to go down. And did you see my notes, or could you see my notes on the euro? It moves the same direction as crypto. So if Dixie breaks in, so it goes the opposite direction. Dixie and euro go opposite. So if Dixie breaks into this 12-year-long point of control, look at this, 12-year-long point of control. Well, what happened the last time that it did this? Let's go down to the 1 hour chart. Maybe the 4 hour. All right, so the last time it came in here, look, late April. So it made the same choice, right? And had to commit. Now watch what happened to Bitcoin. And then so it played around in there through late April through late June. That's a 60-day time frame roughly. See that? About 60 days. And remember how long the oscillations are on Bitcoin? About 60 days. And it's right at that decision now. And exactly right now. All right? So now watch. Late April to late June of 2022. Look at what happened on Bitcoin. Watch. The same thing. Look. That's late April when it started Dixie started entering. And this is late June when it stopped pissing around in that point of control after the commitment was done. And what did big money have to do? It had to leave the market with a 61.5% or 65% drop. The same thing's getting ready to happen. But if it gets rejected from there, then Dixie's going down and Bitcoin will go up to 37K. This is what happened the last time Dixie was doing exactly what it's doing now. It has to make the choice. So money will either take Bitcoin up to 37 because Dixie gets rejected, or something maybe not quite as aggressive, but I mean, it at least be half as aggressive, right? Like 35% or so. That's 17, 18K. That would be a macro high or low potential, and maintaining 15.5 as the bottom potentially, but there you go. So a decision has to be made. All right, Amazon. Amazon has to make the choice to get above or stay below the weekly 200 EMA, and to get above an origin line here. So to get above the origin line, you are committing to go to the next origin line, which is committing to challenge this local high on Amazon closer to 150, right? But look at all the other times the weekly 200 EMA has it's been under it. Back in 2007 and actually 2006, V-shaped correction up and out, V-shaped correction up and out. But look what's happening now. Something different is happening. That's not a V-shaped correction up and out. It tried to do a V-shape, but then it failed. And now it's potentially going to get rejected by an origin line and the weekly 200. So if a decision is made to go above here, it's going to be a big choice, and money has to commit. But here's the last two are, and then I'll wrap up. The last two are even bigger because these are the blue chip stocks that are strong, and they will, like these, if the stock market tries to go for all-time highs again, Microsoft and Apple will lead them. So, but look what's getting ready to happen is all-time high. This is like a quarter origin line, so this one's not as strong. But it's going to make the commitment to get above this area, which was resistance, support, resistance. This is a pretty damn big line. So it's not as strong as an origin line, but it's going to take commitment to get above there. And then once that commitment happens, then you're going to blue sky breakouts, which requires what? More commitment to throw more money at the market. So commitment now will mean by default more commitment later. So it means it's a big commitment like now in terms of the 6 to 8 week time frame. Does that make sense? So it's because Microsoft and Apple, which we're getting ready to see. Oh, I have it on Litecoin. Microsoft and Apple are the blue chip stocks that are the strongest right now. So let's go to Apple, doing similar stuff over here. Let me go to the daily scale. Boom, boom, bada bing. Here we go. Take a look. Same type of posturing. Microsoft and Apple would be the things that help the US 500 decision. So remember the US 500 breaking out of the year-long stuff? Apple is that same type of double commitment Microsoft would have. getting above an actual, like the full-on origin line, which takes commitment, but to get above that with volume would create all-time highs, which would then create blue sky breakout commitment. So commitment here would have baked in even more commitment later. So either big money has to commit to more buy pressure for an extended period of time to race the market up, or it's going to start taking its money out of the market. Like, the decision has to happen now. And remember, when I say
that thumbs up.
Sorry.
Thumbs up.
Didn't mean to do that. That was an old one. Did you piss your pants? But anyway, the decision right now on all charts, but in different forms. Bitcoin is the oscillation. Dixie and Euro, they have to make that choice that I talked about with the breaking into the 12-year point of control. Amazon getting above the weekly 200, which it always has. It's never really lived under there. Like, it's kind of weird, right? And an origin line. It's going to take commitment, or money's going to have to give up. And then on Amazon and Apple, which are the big daddies right now of the stock market, they're going to say, hey, kids, follow me. We're going up. Well, it's going to take huge commitment. And that commitment is double commitment. But it also means the whole market will then be committing, because everything's going to try to follow those blue sky breakouts. It'll take commitment on Amazon, like it'll force commitment everywhere else. And so this time frame, I would say summer of this year is going to be very, very interesting. They're going to be years long lasting price movements. It's going to be years long effects from what happens this summer. Either breakout, blue sky breakout, which forces more commitment, and stock market's going to go on to all-time highs. Perhaps not that aggressive of all-time highs, but all-time highs for several months. Like, it would take a while, probably at least till the new year, which is months of commitment, or money's going to start coming out of all markets. And this summer is going to be, that's my market pulse. The pulse is now, but on Jupiter, right? Or in the markets, it's 6 to 8 week period. Please don't be convinced that the Bitcoin bull run or crypto bull run's here, because one of the two options is to begin taking money out. And you saw what happened last time Dixie got into that point of control. Bitcoin went down 61%. Half of that would mean a macro high or low around 17, 18K. So something's getting ready to happen, everybody. This summer's going to be nasty, and keep your eyes open for news events, because anything could make, like, any sneeze, kind of like this is how I would say it. The markets are going to be very sensitive to external factors right now. So, for example, in a bearish sense, even though I'm not committing I'm not guessing down necessarily. That would be if I had to guess, like you forced a gun to my head, I would guess that it's going to hang out for a while, then go down. That would be my main guess. But I honestly would prefer not to guess. So look out for, so from a bearish sense, the way the markets are sensitive to external pressures right now is this. You know how when, for example, I'm sorry to mention HIV, as a virus, but it compromises your immune system, right? Or the older folks, or even younger babies, their immune systems are kind of compromised or not strong. So any, a strong flu it harms both young and very old, right? So any sneeze or any one sickness and you have a compromised immune system can take you out. So that's the way the news on about a 12-week, 6 to 12-week time frame, like any news events, Russia and Ukraine, the proxy war over there, battery technology, lithium mining, something like any sneeze, not just from a bearish sense though, the market will really react over these next 12 weeks. So staying aware of overall global economic fundamentals, it's going to move everything, because the decision has to be made now, and now in the time frame of 6 to 12 weeks. So keep your eyes peeled open for things happening around you in the world, global economic events, because it's going to give you the right signal, and the signal will happen most likely before summer's in. So that's what we got as Bitcoin is being slow and boring. Hopefully you enjoyed this re-upload that you can hear me and it's not horrendous to listen to the horribly loud music.